Right, hi folks. Yeah, so um, basically, we've been to the Tower of London today, and I'm going to upload those shortly. Um, so, although it wasn't the venue I originally had in mind and that I originally planned for, because when I got to the original venue, where I was going to go, where I was going to take you guys today, to be quite honest, I got there and I got cold feet. I changed my mind. I had second thoughts. Now, that's partly to do with confidence. It's also partly to do with the sort of technical side of things in terms of because the place we were going to go to would have been very dark inside. And although there would have been light at times in various different parts of it, I would imagine, a lot of the time it was going to be quite dark. So I decided to revise the plan, and so we went to the Tower of London, which I thought kind of apt really, because we'd gone. The last videos were HMS Belfast, and the thing is that that's literally moored right almost next to the Tower of London. So I decided I'd do the Tower of London because that's another tourist attraction. It cost me £9, which is not bad because you see the engine room, the old Victorian engine rooms, and then you go up the back outside, you walk along the bridge, and then you go into where another ticket office is that takes you through to the lift, which then takes you up to the top part of the Tower of London. Anyway, you'll see all that when I put the videos up. But in terms of the other venue, the original venue, I will go to it, and I am determined to do it. But I just need a bit more time to get my head around it, basically. A little bit more time to try and work out just the logistics of it and so forth, sort of thing. So I think I was maybe being a little bit too ambitious on that one. So anyway, so that's that. Also, whilst I've been mooching around today, I've also remembered there's at least about 4 other venues that I can think of that, again, the only problem with those is that they're a bit pricey. They're not cheap. Now, the one that we were going to go to today, again, I must admit, I've still not found out exactly how much it is into that one. I thought I remember seeing the price somewhere, but for the life of me, it escapes me. I don't think it's as I don't think it's as expensive as some of the other venues, but it's close to it. So that's another problem at the moment, because my funds are a little bit tight now. Like I say, I'm not working for the whole of this month, and because I get paid a month behind in the work that I do, the thing is, that means that I've got a whole month essentially missing where I haven't got any income. So although I've got paid for last month's work, I got paid today. It's it's not a vast amount of money, and the thing is that will just about scrape me through until next month. But whether it'll cover me until the next, well, in fact, there won't be a next payday, because like I said, I'm going to be a month behind. So basically, money's going to be really, really tight. Anyway, the thing is, so those venues at the moment will be put on hold until I can get the funds together for them. But rest assured, I will definitely be doing those videos, definitely, because I'm really looking forward to not just making the videos, but actually going to the venues and doing these new venues. Because I've all this time I've been in London, I've very rarely done I've done 1 or 2 of the attractions of London, but because I live in London, I never really thought, didn't really think I would do the tourist things, if you like. But now that I've done a couple, I'm thinking, why the heck have I never done this before? Because actually it's quite nice and it's really interesting, and I've quite enjoyed the last few days. HMS Belfast and the one today, and I can't remember for the life of me. Kew Gardens. Again, though, the trouble is that London and a lot of these venues, they're not cheap. And if you're on a low income like I am, they're not that affordable really for people like myself. But once in a while, once in a blue moon or whatever, and if you save up a little bit and put to one side and what have you, then yeah, it's definitely worth doing. Absolutely, no two ways about it. Definitely worth doing. Anyway, so like I said, I've got at least another 4 possibles. I've got a couple of other ideas on the boil at the moment. Some places that hopefully won't cost me anything, but we'll still get some really exciting stuff. Anyway, so that was one thing. The other thing I just wanted to cover quickly is I think it was it was Tuesday just gone. I was at the Complex Needs meeting, and I did a little video after that. I've uploaded that, and somebody commented. One of my subscribers commented on my talk about homelessness and what have you, and suggested that because I seem to be quite knowledgeable on the subject and what have you sort of thing, that maybe I should do some videos around homelessness and raise awareness about it and so forth and what have you. And it's funny that the person mentions that. Now I can't, and by the way, I must apologise to my subscriber whose name at the moment completely escapes me. I'm really sorry. I know it's one of my subscribers. He hasn't got a picture as an avatar. It's just the bog standard avatar picture thing that you get on YouTube if you don't upload one yourself. And I can't remember the person's name off the top of my head. It really escapes me for a minute. But so I really apologise for that. But anyway, the thing is that this person suggested that I do some videos around homelessness, and I've been thinking about this for a good while, and I've been thinking, yes, this is something I want to do. But it's not something you can do just willy-nilly. You can't just... Well, I mean, so I know some people have. I've seen videos on YouTube. Saw a video of one guy. He saw this homeless guy. I think he's in London somewhere. I think it's London. I'm not sure exactly. Can't remember. Basically, he was going through his route either to work or from work, whatever. And at some point, he passes through a subway, pedestrian subway. And you see this homeless guy down there, and he just got talking to him one day, and he thought the guy's story was, really, really, I don't know, inspiring or amazing or whatever it was that fired this guy up. So basically, he decided he was going to make a video, and so he does a little introduction beforehand, and then you watch the actual video. And basically, what he was saying in the video is that he'd spoken to the chap a couple of times before, asked his permission if he wouldn't mind him videoing him for his YouTube channel, and that's what he did. And apparently he took him some clothes, change of clothes, some socks and underpants or something, and then he gave him some food and some money, and like I say, this guy, he allows this guy to tell his story on camera, and then he's uploaded it to YouTube. Now that all in itself is great, do you know what I mean? And I'm not knocking him or anything like that, and this is, that's, you can do it that way if you wish. But you have to be a little bit careful around these things, because essentially we're talking about very vulnerable people, and we're talking about people that may or may not be using substances to survive, in terms of their mental health issues and whatever else is going on for them in their life. So the thing is that you have to be very mindful of these things, and you can't just really willy-nilly go up to some homeless person in the street, ask if they can film them, because they might very well say yes at the time. But the trouble is that, they might then start waffling on about something, and inadvertently, there's lots of things that can happen. Do you know what I mean? They could inadvertently drop themselves into something that they didn't want to, necessarily. They could disclose something that they didn't intend to disclose, or something personal about themselves or whatever. And you see, so you've got to be really careful about how you approach this. So I've been thinking about it for the last few days about how I can go about it. So one of the things I was thinking is that my friend John Connolly, who's going to be coming here, he's going to be visiting my house on Sunday for the first time. We've known each other over 6 years, maybe a little bit longer now, and he's always been promising to come and visit here. I've been to his place a couple of times, and anyway, so on Sunday he's coming down, and I'll run it past John, because one of the things as well is that, you know, I can be very impulsive. I'm a very impulsive person, and sometimes I'll get a bee in my bonnet and get an idea about something and I want to go and do it there and then. Now sometimes that can work out, but sometimes it's not always a good idea. So, like I said, I think I'll run it past John first. I think it's a great idea. I really like this idea, and I'm really grateful to my subscriber for mentioning it, because he's given me the impetus. Like I said, I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I've been procrastinating and about putting it off and and this, that, and the other. And I've been thinking about it, like I said, for a long time about doing this. And now my subscriber has given me the impetus to do this, because, like I say, I totally agree with him. It's a really important issue, and I really want to be able to do something to help. I mean, I already do stuff, but you know, I want using this medium, using this format. Hopefully, is a good way of doing that. So, also, what I was thinking of is approaching some of the homeless organisations, somewhat like Shelter or St Martin's in the Field, where we run the anger group, and various other organisations that I can think of off the top of my head. I'll approach some of those, and I'll run it past them and see what they think, because I might be able to go with one of the outreach teams or something. They have outreach teams that go out either nighttime or daytime, and you know, if given them enough notice and if they are agreeable to it and so forth and what have you, go out with one of them, because I'd rather have, if I'm going to do something like this, I'd rather have some sort of official backing from a homeless organisation. I'd feel much better about that then. Then there's a sense of, I don't know, propriety, if that's the right word. It just feels right to do it that way. Because I mean, I've passed countless homeless people on the street when I've had my camera with me, and it's crossed my mind several times. Should I go up to them? Should I approach them? And you know, I mean, I've even had my camera going at the time when I've given change to a couple of homeless people. In fact, you might have seen it on a couple of my videos. I'm not sure how well it comes out or whatever, or people realise what I'm doing in the video as I'm doing that. You know, I'm not necessarily making it or highlighting it and making a point of it. It's just that I'll see a homeless person. I don't do it every time. I don't give to every single homeless person. Well, obviously I can't.